right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone here to the State of Synth. My name is Dennis G.
And I'm Neon Fox. And by the way, that tune you just heard, that was Lifelike with Night Patrol.
Yes.
And Dennis, who do we have on with us?
Well, we do indeed have Lifelike and YOTA, and I cannot believe, how did we pull this off? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Hello, guys.
Hey, yes, say hello, everyone. YOTA.
Hey, how you doing?
Say hi and give all the greetings to all the IRC people out there. We are live, yes. 4 people, a lot of people, and I think not 4 people in the chat room. I hope not. If you guys are out there in the IRC and we just give a little shout out in the IRC, say hi. Hopefully we have more than 4 people. I think we do.
If you tuned in on the IRC, if you tuned into YouTube, say hi in the chats because we like to call out names.
Yes. That's what I'm getting at. We love to give shout outs to people. And yeah, I am so stoked to have you guys on the show. This is just, it's amazing. I know, YOTA, we had you on the show before, and you were wonderful. And it's just so great to have you back. I mean, you guys have so much going on right now that I just don't even know where to start. So maybe we'll just play a song and then we'll do some chat. You know, we'll break it apart, talk a little bit to YOTA. Now, I'm gonna mess up your name. Is it Laurent?
Yeah, it's that.
Is that okay?
Well, it's Laurent.
Laurent,
But you can say Laurent. If
You have
that's
to say
like the
grrr,
like a cat.
Roll the air, but not like a German Bavarian.
Coming to get you.
It's not Laurent.
I am the worst, and if anyone listens to the show, they know I just am terrible with names. But if I mispronounce your name, I might just call you
No,
Laurent.
it's fine.
Oh, that's totally okay. Totally okay.
I try. This is why Jules always saves me, because he knows a lot of languages, and French. He's very good with French names, and seems to pull it off.
It's perfect.
And yeah, Dennis, one of the tracks tonight, let me pronounce it for you.
Oh God, yeah, I know which one it is.
23 Rue de Bernardin.
Oh, c'est très bien. Wow, well done.
Yeah, I got Dennis covered.
Love it.
He's got my back all the time, 24/7.
All of the time. Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's amazing.
You know what? Let's throw some shout outs before we jump to a tune.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So just a quick shout out to our friends down under, Dave 808 Turner, as well as Craig Packman. Yeah. And we've also got Lionheart, and Vosto is listening, I believe, because you mentioned Lifelike, and the producers come running. Our friend Desterian is in the house as well as Karen Zoe Lee, and Entropy. And Bending Grid has joined us. Johnny 5, Celtic, Rex Balls. Over in YouTube, we've got TA listening.
Oh my God.
There'll be more.
Yes, they're starting to knock on the door. Come on in.
Yeah.
The water's warm. All right. Speaking of warm, we're gonna get you guys rolling with some warm French tracks here. This is I want to talk about the warmth of the French music, but we can talk about that right after we play this next track here. Jules, you want to go ahead and set this one up, my friend?
So one of the reasons we've got YOTA on is to talk to her about this incredible album, Room 412, which I think it's got to be the best album of the year.
It's amazing.
And the amount of talent on this album is incredible. So we're going to kick it off with the first track we're going to play tonight. This is Don't Tell Me Why by YOTA, right here on Night Ride FM.
Those hands that kept me, I
And that was YOTA with Don't Tell Me Why. Yes, just such a great way to kick off a show. I love it. I love that track, love the album.
Dennis, I love how you pronounce the T in YOTA.
I did that last time.
In Toronto, we turn our T's into D's. So I say YOTA.
Yoda. I've heard both. Both are okay.
I mean, YOTA, like...
Good music this is.
I was waiting for that.
This character from Star Wars, right? Yoda.
Yeah, exactly. I always try to, put a little accent on the T, just so we all know who we're talking
Hopefully for her, she doesn't look like him, because I don't think it's good to sell her. He's cute. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
From Yoda's Instagram posts, we know she doesn't look like
Yes.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think there's going to be any confusing the two. So that's good.
There are some mornings though, and when I'm like, yeah.
I think that's the same for all of us.
Okay, good.
Yeah, indeed. So I want to talk about French music, and I want to talk about how awesome it is, and how do you guys do what you do? Like, it's just, there's something about French electronic music that I wish I could put like a pin on it and just figure out what it is. Is it like the baguettes? Like, is it something in the water? Like,
I think Daft Punk came along and that was it. It was like some sort of an infection.
Yeah, I don't.
Everyone turned into amazing producers.
But it's like you can tell. You can tell a French track.
Yoda, let's be clear though, Yoda, you're Swedish, right?
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
and you're living in France.
Yeah.
She's drinking the water, though, I guess.
Well, yeah, she's drinking
I
the French
am.
water.
I'm drinking the water. I'm eating the baguette and the croissant and the bourguignon. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah, a little coco vin, and that's it.
Voilà.
Yes, exactly. And of course, you have to drink. You have to put your croissant into a glass of red wine for breakfast. This is the.
Oh, is that a thing?
This is the secret.
No.
This is the secret of the French sound.
No, it isn't.
I
know
think
better.
you're pulling my leg. That's what you say to people from New Jersey, and they go, "Oh, okay, well, I'll give it a try." And like,
Okay, I give it a try. Yeah.
you dip in your wine and in your bread. And,
But Laurent, didn't you say that people used to dip their baguette into wine back in the 60s or 70s or something?
Yeah.
Really?
If you go to this typical French brasserie, it's this kind of coffee shop, on the corner of the street. There's one every 5 meters in France, basically. So you will never die out of not having something to drink here. That's for sure.
definitely gonna
So
stay
it's-
hydrated.
Yeah, no dehydration. Yeah. But it is true that like a long time ago, there was this culture about alcohol here, and if you would go in a cafe like that, they would definitely dip the croissant into a red wine, or they would drink some cognac at breakfast or something like that.
Oh,
That sounds actually
So-
pretty delicious.
I'm not sure it has something to do with Daft Punk, but
I think maybe
we're
it is.
gonna
the
put
wine.
this into the.
But it's just so warm. Like, I feel like whenever you hear something that is like French, or I want to say, because they technically would call it like what French touch is, like kind of like the subgenre. We call everything synthwave. So if we call this, that, or the other thing, I mean, labels are just fun to just throw around, but it's just that sound. It's just that pinpoint of that retro sound that just feels like really authentic and a little bit worn down, like an old tape hiss, and I just love the sound.
You know what I noticed is whether you're a French house producer, French synthwave producer, French this producer, that producer, the French have an ear for, and Daft Punk had this as well, but I noticed this when I listened to people like Morgan Willis and so on. They can hear certain sounds in disco tracks, and they will grab those sounds or the samples, and they'll work with it and create the coolest things that you hear today.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and hand claps.
Handcuffs, yes,
I'm
handcuffs.
so
the
right
hand
with both
clap.
of the things that you said now. I'm sorry, I just stepped in, but I just want to say that this is so much French touch. To find that loop or little thing that is like brilliant, and then you just create something around it, and then you have this kind of like filtered sound that is warm, like it's like cotton or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you have that. It just creates this beautiful thing, and if that's French touch, it's like, and it's very nostalgic. Sorry, I stepped in. This is just
No.
I thought it was spot on. What
You said it better than I could.
Yeah,
No, I
we say
didn't.
we say here we don't have petrol, but we have ideas. It's a French saying.
What?
So this is one of the things maybe that makes this special. No, I think honestly, I think to be deadly serious about that and put a super bad ambience now in the interview. No, I'm joking. It's I think it has to do with the fact that we have had really good electronic music here in the 70s. We had like Jean-Michel Jarre, if you know this guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Who has 25 synthesizers and he plays one keys on each of them in a light show where he's like climbing on the building and all these things. So this is one of the reason why. And also we had really famous disco producers like Serron, Marc Serron, who's like although he has an Italian name, but he's a 100% Parisian guy, and he's one of the guys with George Moroder who invented the disco, basically.
Yeah, indeed.
So I would say the French are really good at when it comes to electronic sounds and disco music, but they have the shittest pop music in the world. That I can swear.
Hey, no. I like my 80s French pop, like Mylène Farmer and
Okay, you can have your favorites, but in my opinion, if you listen to the French music, like sang in French and with the text, because here we have a culture of the text is very important.
The lyrics, yeah.
The lyrics, it has to be written a certain way. And they mix. Here, there's something so funny is that they mix the voice so loud compared to the music. So you immediately recognize a French pop production, like the singer is like destroying the speakers, but the music is in the background.
Yeah. I think you're right in that. Now let's talk about that a little bit, because obviously now Lifelike, you do a lot of the production work, and YOTA, you basically, I know you write vocals, you write all the lyrics for the song.
Pretty much everything on this.
She writes all the melodies.
Yeah.
Something really good with YOTA. She finds the vocal melody, even if sometimes you can collaborate on a track and you can suggest stuff to her, but she usually finds all the melody herself. So she's really good at that. She sings really well at the right pitch. There's never any auto-tune, because I hate auto-tune.
I hate
in music.
auto-tune.
That's incredible.
It's
I was
the
going to
worst
ask.
tool ever.
Yeah.
I was going to ask how much production actually goes into the vocals. Obviously, besides the raw talent that you have, because obviously that's got to be there, or else nothing's going to come together. But the vocals just seem just so well done. There's so many layers. It's so filtered, and I mean in a good way. Lots of echoey, a lot of spaces, and I feel like just producing vocals is just a talent in itself. And to make it sound like it's not overly produced, to make it just fit right in the track, I think that takes a lot of talent on the production end as well. And it's always fascinating to me when they can just get it right. And just the fact that YOTA has such a very strong vocal presence in all of the tracks. I mean, it's YOTA track, so
Thank you.
but I find it amazing. Do you like, is there special techniques that you do, or like how much time do you spend as a producer to kind of get everything to fit just right?
Yeah, I'm very so what I receive the instrumental, and then I start to create the melody, and then I write the lyrics. And when I have the lyrics and the melody, then I record myself. And I record everything, which means that I can do as many retakes as I want to. And I'm a very I'm a perfectionist when it comes to recording. So I can really retake a single word, like I can retake it 300 times,
Wow.
400 times. Yeah, because I'm super picky. Like maybe you have the entire sentence that it's there, like in place, but then you just have this word that is like, whoa, it's just a feeling. It's like, what happens there? I don't like it. It suddenly dives when it's not supposed to dive, or whatever. There's just something. And then I would just retake, and sometimes I get so upset, Laurent can hear it from the other room, I think, and I'm like so angry, and I'm like, but I just need to nail it, because I never use autotune. It's not my thing. So what I do then is that I record all the vocals, and then I just choose the takes that I'm happy with, and then I bounce them dry without effects, and I send them to the producer, and then they take over, and then I usually say, drown them in delay and reverb, darling. And then usually we go through the mix together. But I can talk about that later with a little bit the challenges that we were facing with Room 412 with the mixing.
Yeah.
But usually that's how I work. So I'm very, like when I deliver the vocal stems, they are usually not out of tune. If they're out of tune, it would be slightly out of tune, because it's super important. And not only that it is in tune, that we have the emotion there.
I think you're right.
Sometimes it's just a retake just for the emotion.
Yeah, in fact, I was just going to comment as well, and it's always hard to, in fact, you were kind of poking fun at me a little bit, because I would always ask you questions. In fact, we did this on the last interview. I would ask you a question, and then I would answer my own question, because that's what I do.
That's okay.
But sometimes it's just really hard to come out with a question and to really get it out there to where it's going to get like a proper answer. But I think it's almost like Jeopardy. It's like a Jeopardy interview sometimes I feel like I have. But
yeah.
I was going to ask you, I do feel like there is so much raw emotion in your music that, it's just definitely noticeable. In fact, one of my favorite tracks.
That must be the frustration when she's throwing the mic at the wall.
Yeah.
But you can hear it in the inflection and some of the way that you deliver some of these lines, and it's almost like you're I don't want to say gasping, but like your breath control is just it's very well done, and you can just tell like the emotion, you can just feel. And I think that's what kind of really makes it connect with so many people. It's anybody can just kind of do like a 4 on the floor type of beat, anybody can write some lyrics and sing halfway decent, but I think it's the emotional journey that you take people on that really resonates with people, and I dig that. So again, there's no question, because you already answered it, but I just wanted to, I guess, comment as well on that.
Well, I appreciate that a lot, because it means so much that it is that when I record and that's what I feel. That it's that I can hear that this is what you hear. It's so important for me, because it is totally true. I do very much put a lot of effort into meaning what I say and what I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of things. So
yeah, indeed. We're definitely going to dive into some of the emotion behind the album. Before we do that, we're going to sprinkle in a couple more fun tracks here. We're kind of going back and forth, and I would like to play this next track here. This is a Lifelike track, actually. This is one of my introductions to your music, and I love this track. I play this whenever I can at any type of party or anything
Dennis,
like that.
I was about to say, any DJ will have this track in his library and will probably spin it. And I remember, just like you, when I came across some music video with a bunch of girls on roller skates going to this track, right? And the roller skating rink and everything. Oh,
I love it. For those that are not in the know, because obviously we didn't mention it yet, but it's So Electric. And again, one of my favorite tracks. The only thing I don't like about this track is it's impossible to mix out of the track because it's just got this groove, and it's like, it's like where it's like I feel like I'm doing double dutch. I'm ready to like jump in and jump out of the double, double dutch in France, right? That's when they got the jump ropes and you're trying to like, find that right spot to like just go in and out and because it's just so solid. They do that with.
Are you talking about the pitch of the track, or are you talking about
the structure of the track? I feel like
structure.
Yeah, because usually like. At the end of the song, it's like, and we got the end of the song. You can mix out.
You got your 8 bars or 16 bars,
right?
Like,
but it's like it's so
entrancing, but not so electric. Because then you got those little triple claps at the end.
Yeah.
Which first of all, as a DJ, I have to clap along. So
of course,
the track's pretty long, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should fade out, but nope, here come the claps. I gotta clap.
I love it.
Actually, this track was never intended to be a turntable DJ tool, and that's why it sounds like that. Because actually, I didn't make any effort to make it DJ friendly.
Yeah, that's what it is. There's no club mix. It's just you get what you get.
That's the truth. That's the honest truth. Is this? It's just an assemblage. It's like how to say in English. It's I just cut a lot of stuff. And I played a lot of keyboards, and at some point there was so much sound together that I don't know how they managed to stay all together. And the problem was that my the kick drum in this track is a DMX drum machine kick drum, and it has no fucking bass. Like it's not like a 909 kick drum, like a huge bass drum. You know what I mean? So it was like just in the end it sounded like that, and I was like, okay, I just recorded and
just like that.
I just put this epic synthwave French touch track just out there, and
an anthem comes out.
It just happened, and then it's basically an anthem at this point. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a spin, and I'm just super stoked to play it. Once again, this is Lifelike with So Electric right here on Night Ride FM.
Oh my God, yes, I'm a French poet.
And that was So Electric. We Are Live, ladies and gentlemen, live radio. We love it. That was Lifelike with So Electric. Wonderful, wonderful track. Now, I just can't help clap at the end. You're right, Jules. You're absolutely right. I was sitting there clapping.
Clap, 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 clap.
And I had to Google. I had to Google the sample. That's the way we spell success. Am I right? That's where the is that what they're saying? Just making sure.
Yes, it's this. Yes, that's the sample.
And
but,
I heard
anybody who speaks about that will have a car crash accident in 5 minutes.
Yes.
We will not speak of samples. You can do.
We've got Sinesis asking, what are the vocals saying in this track?
That's a good question. I will have to listen to it again. We never understood what they are saying actually, because it's like a crowd shout.
I love it. It's
so
like
pretty much sounds like all crowd chants.
It's just like I think that's where it gets the energy. Like I think the fact that it comes in at the end, it's just like a room of people chanting, and like how can that not like hype the hell out of you? Just like listening to the song with a great groove, and they're just chanting. I always say it was like a cheerleader. It's like a group of cheerleaders in my mind, or at least that's where my head goes half the time. But yeah.
By the way, Dennis,
vibe.
Before we proceed, I just quick shout outs.
Yeah, shout outs.
I mentioned Sinesis, she's tuned in.
Oh, Sinesis!
All the way from Spain, I believe.
Very nice.
And we've got Nas and Spy Audio, and Dread is in the house.
Excellent. All right. Bringing all the crew in. A lot of producers and a lot of good stuff. A lot of awesome listeners. And we thank you all for tuning in. This is just a really good time. We are talking once again with Lifelike and YOTA. And we just talked about my favorite track. I love that track. I think it's just it's a mixture of like the hand clapping and the groove. And I feel like it's hypnotizing every time I listen to that song. There's just something hypnotizing. Like when you put that out, like, did you just know like it was just gonna hit the way that it did, or did you have no idea?
No, actually, when this track we made, after we just released Discopolis, because I had to release a new record, and between So Electric and Discopolis, there's almost 2 years where I didn't release any record because Discopolis went so well that it was re-released as a CD single back in days, and we made a video. We licensed it on Defected, which is this UK house label. So it had a second life, and we toured a lot at that time out of this record. So at some point I was like, okay, maybe now it's time to do a new stuff, and so I started to record So Electric without any idea of what I would do. What I would know is that I wouldn't do something like Discopolis, because that's not interesting to do again the same song, and it ended up to sound like it sound. And my idea was like, okay, I will present it to Alan Brax for Vulture Music, and see if he wants to release it, just like we did for Discopolis. So I sent it to him, and he said, "Oh, it's too DJ unfriendly."
Did he not say that? Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yes, because it starts immediately on a bass line. And,
yes. You have to start off a set.
Not on a kick.
You have to start the set off, and then like it's sort of like what I usually do is I just take the color, I call it the color wheel, and basically take all the treble out, and I just go whoa, 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 and then I just mix in the next track. But that's
the other problem is the DJ should be DJing, not dancing. But that's the other problem.
Jules is too busy dancing; he forgets to like mix the next track in. That's always his crutch there. But excellent. I love it. We got a couple more YOTA and of course Lifelike tracks that we're gonna play. Let's pivot back here and talk about some more. I don't even know. Like where do we even go with this, Jules?
Well, actually, I was while the tune was playing, I was asking YOTA and Lifelike what their favorite DAW is.
Yeah.
Jules wants to make music
course.
one of these days.
Of course, Laurent.
Again, this question.
Yes. We're live.
Are you going to ask this question every 10 minutes?
You bet. Well, you still haven't given me an answer.
Laurent, will you tell them what you said? Are you allowed to? Be careful.
Of course.
My favorite doll is you have to inflate her, actually.
Yes.
That was a joke that we made offline.
No, but it still goes over.
Okay. Laurent,
I never heard this expression for asking someone about what software he's working on.
He's so weird.
What's your favorite doll? Okay.
Hello, Laurent, go ahead.
So me, my favorite software, I work, favorite, if I have to say that. I used to work with Cubase. All the old tracks until, I would say 10 years ago, they're all produced on Cubase. And then I switched on Logic Audio because a producer, a friend of YOTA, who was doing drum and bass, sent me once a mix of something he had produced, and it sounded 10 times louder than my music, and it irritated me so much. I was like, how the fuck did you sound so loud? He said, I'm working on Logic. I'm like, okay, but then I have to go on Logic. And so now I'm working on Logic Audio, but actually my I would say my setup in Logic Audio is definitely not a normal setup because I work with very little plugins, like very little synthesizer. I use the same synthesizer I used before. It wasn't in plugins, so like 20 years ago when I had the real machines. They are still in the studio, but they sleep. And so it's like I basically use one synthesizer for the chords, a sampler to put my sample in, and I work like in the past. I cut everything by hand.
Ooh.
In the software, I cut everything, and then I put it in a sampler, and the mixing technique is the same. I use the same mixing technique that I use since 20 years, and actually I'm doing the same music since 20 years, so everything's fine.
It sounds like you've been doing this for a while. Jules, you better be writing all this stuff down. I know he is.
Yes.
Oh,
When the big DAW wars happen, I'll know which producer is on.
And I'm using Logic. But my work in Logic is very simple. I just record myself.
Build out the notes.
And I do have some effects when I'm recording myself, usually just for my own sake. Sometimes I mute them in order to, if I have difficulties to find the right pitch, or if I'm singing out of tune very much, then it's usually that the delay is working a bit too much in the background. So I need to hear my real the voice, the way it sounds like dry, and but that's how I usually just use Logic for that basically. But the mixing is done by the producers then, and I don't know what DAW they're using.
A DAW.
Well, I do know Laurent's using Logic, and Stefan, for example, he's on Cubase, right? Yeah, Mr. Limelight, Mr.
Dennis,
Runway.
you wanted to touch on this, the team behind
Yeah.
Room 412.
So, yeah, I do want to get into that. I want to talk about what the team is like behind Team YOTA. And I know that you have Lifelike in the mix. You have obviously your vocalist skills and the contribution that you put in obviously as the singer. And I know that did you say at one point you have about 5 people that kind of work on different aspects of the music, or how many people, like when you really break it down, does it take to just create this amazing piece of art?
Yeah, it's actually, I love the question. I think it's the first time I get the question like that, actually, so I love that.
And I didn't answer for you this time too.
No, you did not. You could. So basically, on Room 412, there are actually 7 producers.
Wow.
And what we usually do though is that we work individually. Like me and the producer, we work on one specific track, and then they will then mix the track. The producer that I work with will then mix the track. But in Room 412, we were facing some issues whereas the sound of the tracks were not merging enough, which because of a bizarre, I don't know why it worked with the Lucid Dreams and Hazy Paradise, which, because normally when you have so many producers that use different, DAWs, then the sound would normally naturally sound different, but in Hazy Paradise and Lucid Dreams, we managed to make it sound more or less this, after a while, like quite okay. But in Room 412, we were facing some problems with making the sound, kind of like, I don't know the word, how to say it, so that it merges, basically.
Yeah, so it blends and sounds cohesive.
Yeah, exactly. And so on Room 412, we have Laurent, obviously, but then we have Stéphane Lozac, we have Arnaud, which is also called Douze. We have Tommy86, we have Olivier Visconti, we have Brandon Duhon and Sergei Lebdovsky.
Wow.
So there's many different producers, and but what happened with Room 412 is that in some tracks, I was like, okay, because I always go through the mix with the producer after they've been adding, all the mix, they have been mixing the track. Then we always go through the track. There's always something, it's like, okay, can you change I think this word is too early or too late, or can you add more delay or reverb or whatever. But with Room 412, there were actually a lot more to do, because sometimes the mixing was not it just sounded like a totally different album, or totally different, it just didn't follow.
Are you talking about the mixing within the track or amongst all the tracks and how they sound together?
Together, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, because they would or sometimes I was also quite picky. I would feel that the vocal would drown, or there would be something else, it's just very different things. But I wanted it also to sound, on a specific level. And so I was very much, I had to step in, and then actually Douze stepped in and mixed the track. Stéphane stepped in, mixed, kind of like co-mixed, like in the end, 2 tracks. And Laurent also helped with 1 track. So I was this part took a lot of time. This time it took a lot of time, and but we managed it.
Did you guys
pulled it off?
Did you guys do? So did you producers do all the mastering as well, or
No.
was that handed off?
No.
It's the label, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sound engineer who has the tough job to harmonize the sound. On the very first album, on the very first YOTA album, it's me who did the mastering for the album. But it was quite complicated, because some producers have very vintage technique, and therefore it's very difficult to get an harmony already on the volume of the sound, one track to another, but also the way it's produced. So it was better. After that, we gave this job to a real sound engineer. Not that I'm not really a real sound engineer, but I'm not a mastering specialist.
Right.
So,
but I'm sorry, Laurent. Is it okay that I say this? It's just super important to say that also when we received the masters, then we were still having a lot of opinions about change this and change that. And so in the mixing process, a very important thing to mention is that I always ask Laurent, I always ask Stéphane Lozac, and I often ask Douze as well, to have a listen to the tracks. Like it doesn't have to be their own tracks, like the other tracks,
Yeah.
and just to say, so I listen to it, and we bounce everything back and forth. So there's a lot of like messages back and forth and discussing what do you think, and usually we think the same thing, more or less. So without those guys, it's super important for me. So those are like the golden ears. Sorry.
It sounds like that's what it took to come out with such a stellar album. I mean, going through these pains.
Yeah, it definitely.
So the end result is well worth it.
Right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we did make a huge effort in that, and I just want to say a huge thanks to the boys that they went through like so many mixes and listening to them, and they're like, details, and I was like, I just felt like I was being annoying, but it needed to be done.
Yeah, you got the sound and you got the results at the end. I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and play another track off the album, just so we can give a listen to the wonderful work that you guys did and the painstaking process that it took
Let's do this.
to just deliver it to our ears. We're just like, this is nice.
Perfect.
Jules, you want to go ahead and set us up with that track?
Are we playing Holding On?
Let's play Holding On. Yes.
All right, let's do that. So yeah, from the album Room 412 that was released on New Retrowave Records earlier this year, this is YOTA with Holding On right here on Night Ride FM.
Holding on.
And that was Holding On by YOTA. I love the lyrics. I love the way you deliver it.
The power in that.
The power, and I feel like whenever I hear that, like I'm just soaring above the clouds, and I just love it. So kudos to both of you for I think Laurent, that was the track that you had worked on and did the production work.
No,
actually
but
not.
Thank you.
No, you were still good too.
No, this is.
I was sure you would say that. But,
this is me and Stéphane Lozac, in fact, Mr. Limelight, Mr. Runway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
By the way, I put a link while I was playing. I put a link to Bandcamp in the chats.
Yeah.
Great.
I got to remind everyone that hey, it's new Retrowave, so you know there's physicals. You can get vinyls.
Yeah.
You can get cassettes are sold out.
A couple flavors of the vinyls I think are sold out. But
cassettes are sold out, but there are still vinyls. I don't know how many golden vinyls there are left, but there are still the vinyls left.
There's only 13 remaining of the golden vinyls.
Okay, so
maybe we can get them all sold tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go.
Now, we want to put a pin in that real quick, and I do want to dig a little bit deeper into the album. I want to kind of bounce back real quick, and I do want to talk about Lifelike, the one track that you did a remix for. Actually, you did 2 remixes for Howard Jones, and I want to know how,
why,
and what?
You want to know how and why?
How, why, and what?
And who?
And I just got to say that Howard Jones is one of my favorite artists from the 80s. Like, he was the guy that
he's pretty good.
He just cranked out hit after hit after hit. And I love his songwriting. It was a very simple, it was just a really crafty pop song, synthy pop song.
His songs, I found his songs were melancholic but happy. It's a weird combination.
Maybe that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, that's right. Yeah, he had I'm not sure I don't think he had a #1 in America, but he was part of this teenage fashion music from the 80s, where all these people from all these bands from the UK, like Tears for Fears, or would have hits in America with pop songs actually. So I think he had a very very much success in America.
He did. I could definitely vouch for that as a kid growing up in the 80s. It was all about Howard Jones for me.
Yeah, it's actually, I never met him in person, but we exchanged a couple of emails. Because we had this idea we would maybe collaborate after the remix. We would maybe write some music together. Ooh. So I do have sent him some demos stuff, but he was like touring in America recently. So when people are doing tour, it's like stadium and big places at the evening. So he doesn't have time to do music. But actually, I got introduced to him through my management, who I don't remember how he got this thing, but I think he was a guy called Brian Transo. Do you know this guy in America? He was kind of famous.
Heard the name. Don't know personally.
He's a bit like trance guy, some kind of trance guy.
Yeah.
He was co-writing songs with Howard Jones, and actually he was kind of a fan of my music. So he contacted my manager and said, would you like to write a track with me? So we started to send over some music, but we didn't find that we were such a good match in terms of collaboration, because he has a very specific way of doing music, which when it's too trancey, I'm not so much into that. Yeah. So actually he said, but maybe you want to work on this track that I'm writing with Howard Jones, and that's the one to love.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is the one we're definitely gonna play.
Yeah, the one to love you.
The one to love you.
Yes,
that's it.
I love it.
And so he started to send me some parts, and I said, okay, I will check if I can do something with it, because it's not always you get remix requests, and sometimes you don't manage to have good ideas. And actually, it went quite easy. to work on the parts that he sent me. So I finished the remix, and voila, that's it.
Let me just say that of all the tracks off of that album, because I looked at the deluxe version on Spotify, okay, are you ready for this? I cannot even believe the one To Love You, the Lifelike mix, has 1 million plays on Spotify. I had to check the number like 3 times, and it is 3 times more plays than the original.
Yes.
I couldn't even believe that.
Yes, but actually, I hope he's not gonna hear me now. But
He doesn't. Nobody listens to the show. Don't worry.
He doesn't know yet. But actually, there is with these 80s guys, and I said to my manager already about that. I said about Howard Jones, I should not only try and do music with him, I should also try and produce, because they are not sound engineers, they are songwriters. And at the time where they were having success, it was a very different way of producing music than today.
Yes.
Right.
The songwriter, he would come and play 3 chords, and then the guy would say, "Oh, that's amazing! Like, let me record that." And then he would go and have a beer. And then someone else would come and play the bass, and he would be recorded. And then that's the way they were interacting. Or they had a full band and everybody was playing together.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's very different because the sound engineer was somehow the last man of the band, and the artist wouldn't care so much about the mixing. It's not that they wouldn't listen to it, but they would not have the skills to say, "Oh, there's something really wrong in this mix, and maybe you should put some more bass," and blah blah blah. So they would usually discover, so to speak, the song when the record company would play them. They would have a meeting, and then they would play them the record, and they would say, "Okay, we have the song like that, and we have this version. So which one do you want to keep?" Blah blah blah. So therefore, the way that's why I think all these 80s guys, when they do new albums now, they have a really bad way of producing the music, and
doing it the
the
old
listeners
style.
are used to a certain standard, you know.
Right.
And if it's not well produced a certain way, then you don't get much attention on the songs, because the original song is good, but it's the way it's brought up and mixed.
Right.
That's
And
bad.
that makes it.
They should have sat through all the trials and tribulations of Room 412
That's right.
to see how it's done.
So there it is. There's our segue. We're going to get deep into Room 412. But first, I would like to go ahead and just give this a play, because this is one of my favorite tracks off of that Howard Jones album. I love it. This is a great remix, 1 million plays. I mean, that's ridiculous. And yes, if he is indeed Mr. Jones, if you are indeed listening, I would love to see you work with Lifelike to do an entire album. Do like what is it, Danger Mouse? He just does work. He does an entire album with an artist. Like, it'll be like Danger Mouse and Nora Jones, Danger Mouse and the guys from the Gorillaz, which I think that is amazing. So yes, we're putting the invitation out there, and who knows? We got everyone listens to this podcast.
Watch, we're gonna get an email tomorrow.
This is Mr. Howard Jones's manager.
As long as he's not producing the music with a gorilla, it's fine.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
there you go.
Maybe not.
And we know what kind of DAW he'll use. Right?
Blow up dolls, yes. Gorillas, no. But we'll be here all week, folks. So yeah, let's just dive into. This is the One to Love You, the Lifelike remix, right here on Night Ride FM. Enjoy. And that was The One to Love You, the Lifelike remix by Howard Jones, and also BT. I also just kind of buried BT in that one. I mean, he's amazing.
Right.
So we got to give him some props on that as well. But yeah.
Yeah, because he wrote a lot of the parts in the song.
I love it. Yeah, I love that track. It just gets me going. So very good. Collabs and awesome things with Howard Jones. We're all for it. But yeah, let's circle back. I want to unpack. I want to just like start unpacking this Room 412. What's it about? Without telling me everything, because I guess I don't know. Do you frown upon spilling out all the details of a particular album, or do you just like talking about it and what you were going through and what it means to you? Because I don't want to make you explain like everything about it if you want to leave it like elusive and magical and stuff like that, which I can totally respect. So tell us about 412 in your own words and what it means to you.
Yeah, so there are like 14 tracks, so it would be very long. Like, you know,
if we were in an elevator in Paris and we were going down the tower of Leaning Tower of Pisa, is that in France?
No,
that's Italy.
No, you're thinking about the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, so
then we would have some time.
If we were in the Louvre and we were going down that pyramid thing in an elevator, glass elevator,
then I would have maybe some time. Well, Room 412 is a kind of like a deep dive into a story. It's a love story. But it starts off very dramatically with somebody flatlining.
Yes.
And so that's kind of like it starts off with the end of the story, or does it not? Maybe that's how it starts. Who knows? So there's a little bit of where does it take place? The story, does it take place here or does it take place on the other side? But it is definitely a very strong love story, and it's about. I was thinking about the fact, like, if you really, really, really love somebody, and let's say that they would like die, you know, would it be possible to make them come back just because you love them so much and you just need to bring them back? Like, because as humans, we're faced with all these things that we just have to accept, that people die and then they just disappear, you know, and then just don't talk to them anymore, at least here.
Right.
And it made me very rebellious, and it made me very angry, and so I started to dig deeper into this, and then I was like, so that's kind of like a very rebellious feel to the entire album, where you actually getting them back from the so-called gates, and then you can continue the story. Or you could also think that maybe they did die and then the story continues on the other side. What inspired me a lot is my other job that I have, which is that I am working as a tarot card reader.
Oh my
psychic.
God! Can we? Yeah. I don't want to get into that
yet. Good segue. Dennis had this in the notes.
So great.
I find it amazing. I think it actually lends itself really well to your entire mystique. Like, I feel like there's a huge mystique about YOTA, like, and the albums that you put out, and I think the lyrical and the subject matter, like you said, like, it's about dying and death and a possible afterlife, and the fact that you do something like that and you're so tied into that spiritual realm, I think it's just so amazingly interwoven with the entire experience as a fan. Like, I think it's really cool that you do that. I would love to see if, like, because I'm like, let me just say that I'm incredibly selfish and I just like doing things for me.
That's okay.
I would love, if we have time at the end, I'd love to, if you can flip a couple cards. I don't know, do you flip cards? What is that? What is that when you flip? You basically you interpret a few cards. Is that right? You would flip over a couple cards and
you're revealing the message.
You reveal the message, and obviously I'm not trying to I'm trying to speak in all seriousness. I find it fascinating as a layman. Like, I'm just mesmerized by it. But I feel like let's get in the zone for that one. I think maybe in a little bit, if it's possible to do a little spiritual.
I will definitely do that. What I wanted to say about Room 412 is that because of my job, I sometimes get, I have questions that are like, okay, like you have the classic questions about love and stuff like that, but then you have questions about people who have passed, like that are on the other side. And one of them that inspired me a lot, for example, was somebody who lost a very close relative, and then they were like asking me questions about this specific person, and then I was just randomly saying whatever I could feel and see. And one of the things that I said was, I can't say exactly what I saw because I need to, it's a privacy thing.
Sure.
But I can say something else. I said, I told this person that I said, suddenly I see that this relative who has passed was talking so much about strawberry cake. Like, I don't know why. And I was laughing because I thought it was so random, like, why would I see that? Because they didn't even ask about,
right,
things like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're talking about strawberry cake. I don't know why. And then anyway, like a half year later, this client contacted me and then she said, now I know why they were talking about strawberry cake. I didn't know that, but actually it was their favorite thing. They love strawberry cake.
Oh my God.
And then this person was supposed to turn so and so many years, and for the the grave or whatever, the family would go there and they would bring strawberry cake as in to celebrate the person's birthday. And it was like just like and then other things like that I come across in my work, and it makes me think very much of the other side, and crossing this gate or whatever we call it, like, because I feel that it's possible. So, sorry, it was a long answer.
I take it you came up with the name of the tracks.
Yes, I did come up with the name of the tracks, but not totally. Sometimes I ask the producer,
Gotcha.
What do you think we should call it? So I cannot say that it's only me. It's actually both. It's like sometimes I ask, what do you think we should call it? I do know that, for example, with Dudes, he often helps me. He's like, we should call it this or that, But whereas with Laurent, he's like, whatever you want. Right, Laurent?
Yes.
Play my sample track number 15. That's what is the Logic or Cubase auto project name? Like, what is it, Project 15 or Project 16? Like the default name of when you start a track, like it'll usually like already like pre-name it in like a pre-programmed way.
Oh, like the starting default project name?
Yeah. In fact, Time actually had a joke. They have a song called My Song 5, and that's literally what they did. Like, they used the title from, and they're like, we don't care. Like, it sounded like a cool name for a track. It was literally called My Song 5.
My Song 5. I don't know. Laurent, what is yours?
That's very good.
I don't know, what is yours?
I stopped giving a generic name to tracks because a long time ago I used to be super lazy with that, and I would put, when the floppies were still my favorite backup, I would put on the floppy Cool Song 1, Cool Song 6, Cool Song 7, and I would never remember which one is the right
which one was Cool Song 7? Was that the good one, or was it Cool Song 8? I can't remember.
Or OK Song 1, OK Song 3.
Can you imagine being a DJ and somebody wants to look at what you're spitting and they look at your DJ software and it's like Cool Song 1?
Yeah, you can just do a best of OK Song.
Well, that's how CDs worked back in the day. It was like track 5. Can you play track 5? Like, as a DJ, somebody asked me to play track 5. I'm like, what?
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
That was CDs. They're short-lived little lifespan there. Everyone just like, they didn't know the actual title of the song. They just like knew it was like the 5th song on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find that so weird when I see now a DJ comes with a USB key and he plugs on the stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
I say
Right.
this because maybe 15 years ago, when we were DJing around Disco Police time, me personally, I'm not a DJ. You know, I'm not into DJ culture. I'm like a musician, so I was never into like DJ clothes and DJ stuff and DJ that. So at some point, someone says, "Are you a DJ?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And then Chris said, "Why do you say no? You're gonna miss up opportunities to DJ." I said, "But how do you want me to DJ? I don't know how to spin
You had your
records."
chance.
Yeah, now us modern DJs, we don't have to worry about spinning a record. You just plug in the USB stick.
Exactly.
The software,
that's right.
Oh man.
the software beat syncs for you.
7
Yeah,
crates of
Tells you
vinyl.
what key is in.
That's where I wanna go, because actually, so he said, "Oh, do like DJ Falcon, just buy a laptop, cut some songs in small loops, and mix them together. The software mix them for you." I said, "Oh, really? We can do that." So I did like DJ Falcon. I buy this computer, and I finally managed to do some kind of setup. And when I play, one of the first time I play in a club somewhere in Belgium, like 15 years ago, the promoter comes and say, "This is not a DJ.
See,
This is not a DJ. What is this fucking guy doing here?" So he was like super angry because he didn't appreciate I didn't bring this big, huge amount of records, you know, and the vinyl
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, of course.
And now I see the DJ coming with a USB key, and I'm like, what the fuck is
Right,
this?
they just plug the little
Have you-
key
have
in.
you noticed-
Here we go.
Have you noticed the biggest DJs, the ones who fill stadiums? They don't even press any buttons. They just pump their fists in the air
Yeah, that's
and
what it's
dance
all
around
about.
while the fire and the
Jules,
fireworks go off.
It's about how hard you can pump your fist in the air, man. Come on now.
Well, it is.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, it's because he's been taking so much cocaine that he can't stay
He
still.
can't stand still.
Probably.
Right,
true.
it's actually a side effect of the cocaine that he just got to
probably.
keep moving. So speaking of kind of keep moving here, we're going to go ahead and play this track that I cannot pronounce.
Yeah. Oh, this is another great track off. Yeah, that's it.
So Jules, can you pronounce this, and then can you tell me what it means so I can really fully immerse myself in this next track?
It's 23 Bernardin Road, but in French.
Oh,
Perfect.
so
That's it.
Rode Bernardino.
Yeah, so
is,
it's 23 Rue des Bernardins.
Love it.
Bravo.
Bravo, yay.
Excellent. So is this a real existing road? Is this
Very much so, yes.
Yeah, it does.
very
Yes.
Dennis,
Laurent
that's
told them.
that's where Yoda and Laurent live.
Is it?
Put
Exactly.
their address right there.
Put
in
that-
the album.
Right there, yeah.
Put that straight
Exactly.
in Google Maps, and we'll
If
be
you
by.
go there, you can go there. The address exists, but I don't think you find anybody living there. But
It's a
you
church.
can try.
It's a church.
Oh,
It's a church.
There you go.
now we get back to the spirituality.
All roads lead.
Yeah.
All roads
All
lead to
the roads
church.
This is where YOTA saw Jesus.
Yes.
Well, there it is. I don't think we can go with a better setup than that. Let's go ahead, and this is the song I can't pronounce. You're listening to it right here.
Here it is. This is Yoda with 23 Rue des Bernardins right here. Sur Night Red FM.
Love it.
Sidewalks, street corners, all of those places. Again,
And that was how
So that was 23 Rue de Bernardin.
all right. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one more track, and then I really would like to know if you could turn a couple cards for me. Is that what it's called? Turn a couple cards?
I think you can say that in English. I'm not sure how you say it in English, but yeah.
How do you say it in
maybe.
French? Because let's make it sound more like mystical.
Comment tu dis Laurent en français?
Yes.
Quoi, de tirer les cartes, tirer les cartes.
Tirer le carte.
Yes.
Tirer le carte.
To shoot the card.
Chile the
Yes,
cat.
Translation is
Shoot.
shoot the card.
I think a better translation would be, well, I mean, to get
pitch the card.
the meaning across, pull a card.
Yeah, exactly.
Pulling a card.
That's
Pull a
pulling
card
the
for the
card.
fool.
Yes.
I'll be the fool.
I will definitely do that. Absolutely.
Yay!
Yay!
Excellent. All right.
Yes.
We're going to do one more track here. This is off of Room 412.
Wow.
And
By the way, this one, Laurent, you helped produce this, right?
Yes, I produced this track. It's true. The guy has a lot of things to say. Yes, it's
This is
true.
Laurent, yes.
Yes.
Laurent and me, yes, definitely.
it's
Yeah. The I had this idea to. I'm not sure I succeeded totally because I recently noticed that the very first demo I did of this track, the mix down had something a little better in my ears, to my ears, not to yours because you don't know it, but to my ears, it had something better. But it doesn't matter because when you produce, you are never satisfied with what you do. So you can do a 60,000 version, and it's like, oh, this one is a little better, so maybe I can.
So we just need to wait. We just need to wait for Room 412, the deluxe version.
Exactly.
Yes.
Deluxe version, exactly.
Get the demo cut of that bad boy. All right.
Well, so once again, from the album Room 412 by YOTA, this is Hey Little Girl right here on Night Ride FM.
Sometimes it makes no sense. Hey,
All right,
Yeah.
that was Hey Little Girl by YOTA. Very good. I love
By
it.
the way, Dennis,
Yes.
quick shout outs.
Shout
Got
out.
a shout out to Deepak Shakur in the IRC and Snarf.
Oh, Snarf. Very nice.
Yeah, you remember Snarf from
Yeah, Thundercats.
Thundercats, that's it, yeah. And also
A
over in the
Smurf.
YouTubes. Yes. I was about to say the Smurfs, but yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what I heard. A Smurf. What? You have a Smurf in there? How do you know it's a Smurf?
All right,
Oh,
so
one more shout out.
Yeah.
Sorry for the cough there, folks. But Yo-Yo Curtis over in YouTube.
Very nice.
I love what he said. Tu les entends direct, les Français qui parlent anglais.
Oui, ça c'est pour Laurent.
Which Dennis, which means you can hear right away French people speaking English.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because we speak normally. If you take some other French artist like Philippe Zdar, rest in peace. He used to speak like this. The latest album is fantastic. You should listen to it.
I love it. It's fantastic. I love the voice. I love the French dialect and everything like that. I wish I could understand a word of it, but like you can honestly, you can do the rest of the show in French, and I would just be like, I would just be smiling because I dig it all. You know, wouldn't understand it, but I just nod my head and.
Here, Dennis, you'll get a tarot card reading in French.
Yeah,
Exactly.
speaking of things I don't understand, but I'm fascinated by. Now, this is amazing. I've never been read on the State of Synth. I haven't been read since I think I was maybe 21. So this was about
wow.
20 many years ago. And it was not a good reading. It was a good reading. It was an okay reading. It was good and bad. They said that I was going to have 3 kids, which I did, and then divorce my wife, which I did. So,
Okay.
maybe we can do like a. Well, you can't really interpret the results, right? You have to let the cards speak for themselves, right?
Yeah, we let the cards speak for themselves, and this is gonna be a pop version, obviously, because
version.
we're like, pop version.
Because we would like the candles,
But
and we would.
what kind of reading I would do?
You mentioned star sign.
Yeah.
Yes,
How do I know? How does Dennis know what his star sign
I'm a
is?
Scorpio.
He obviously does.
I'm obviously a Scorpio, guys. Come on.
You're Scorpio. And okay, perfect. So do you have a specific question, or do you just want me to look at? Yeah.
Ah, gosh, that now I'm on the spot. I have a specific question. Yes, I think I'd like to know. Will I be successful with a particular radio show that I just might happen to do?
Okay. Okay.
Is that good enough of a question? Will I find success?
Yeah, let me look at that. Let me just, I won't ask you for your date of birth, but I'm asking you, are you born in the beginning, in the middle, of the end?
I think I'm on the cusp. I could tell you my birthday if you want.
If it's okay for you.
It's the 21st of November.
November, so you're in the cusp of Sagittarius.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at this.
Ooh, this is very exciting. Do people get very excited, or do they get like very seriously when you read?
It depends on if they call me the first time or the 130th time. I the first thing when you asked me the question, I already had the answer, but then I'm asking for the cards to confirm what I felt.
Oh no!
And they kind of did, and the answer is yes, but it will take some time. It will probably take a little bit more time than you would like it to take. I heard kind of like I saw a 1 year, but the cards are talking about a little bit more than that.
Okay.
So I don't know how fast you want this to happen.
Jules,
But,
you're going to be able to hang out for a while. A couple more years we got in us.
Of course. So, it's funny. It's funny we did this because the other day I rewatched the James Bond movie Live and Let Die. And she's doing the tarot cards, and I was thinking to myself, watch her flip over the lover's card.
Oh, right. Cool, it's James Bond.
Yeah.
They worked that into the plot, of course.
Of course.
So that's
don't worry, Dennis.
it's
I'm not
encouraging. Jules, you can't go anywhere. But you know what? We're in it for the long haul. That's all I'll say.
I would say, like, I mean, it depends also on what you define as a success. It's a difficult question. Like it's it depends on what you mean. But I would say that it's going to go really, really well. And now the cat is scratching the door, which is a good sign.
Is that a good sign or is that a bad sign?
Yes, that's you guys wanting it to happen now, But I would say that it's going to go really, really well, but it's just going to take a little bit more time. But this is just because define success, like there will be very good things happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my cat. I just need to. Okay, sorry.
Of course. You know what? Let's jump to this next track.
Let's do it.
This is. So we played "Hey Little Girl," which is. I can't decide which is my favorite track here, but once again, this one we're gonna play is another one, Laurent, you produced, "The Hunger."
Yes.
Yeah. That's
and
a good one.
yeah, okay, so let's play it, Dennis.
All
First,
right.
a quick shout out to Zelun over in YouTube, who's saying hi from Brazil.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
It's gotta be late there too, right?
No,
I don't know geography.
They're around our time zone.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we had him on. I forget his name. This is how bad I am with artists. I can't even remember.
No problem.
Like I'm gonna forget all your names by the end of the show.
Let's play a track, and YOTA can take care of Kitty.
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay. He's eating now.
Oh. All right. So once again, from the new Retrowave Records album Room 412, this is YOTA with "The Hunger" right here on Night Ride FM.
It cuts like a knife and makes me
And that was The Hunger by YOTA. I love
Man,
it. It's
what
got
a track.
It's got that like safety dance vibe. And I'm not comparing it to safety dance. I'm saying like if I was to mix that in a club, I would totally mix that in with safety dance, and I would just jam it
Kill
out.
it.
Yeah, I would slam.
You mean that 80s track?
Yeah, the 80s.
Yeah.
The safety dance. You can
That
dance if you
80s
want to.
vibe.
You can leave your friends behind.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Poor Laurent's fighting COVID.
Yeah. So can we discuss COVID and
I'm actually dying online. It's
There you go, everyone. Lifelike dying on the state of synth.
oh my god, no. Don't die yet. We still need some more albums out of you.
Actually, so it's like,
No, I have to say it's quite weird because I can have 2 hours where I'm like not coughing at all, and suddenly it's like something's tickling in my throat, and I'm usually not allergic to anything.
Yeah.
But now when the cat jumped on me, I was like,
A cat on your lap will do it every time. I have a corgi, and that dog sheds so. They never really warn you when you buy a corgi or any type of dog. They're like, "Yo, that thing sheds a lot," and like we just pull piles and piles of hair.
Oh, really?
And I thought cats were bad. This dog, I'm like, oh my god.
oh really?
But I love her so much. She's
they're
so sweet.
cute. They're so cute. They have these short legs, right?
They do. Yeah,
They're
she's in the
so
little
cute.
belly, and she shows her belly to everyone.
And do you know that they did the corgis? They did a record called "Everybody Got to Learn Sometime." Do you know this song?
I did not know that.
What
it's
is
called,
it joke?
It's called the Corgis, and it's called "Everybody Got to Learn Sometimes." You know this song for sure. It's like a
You know what? It
love
sounds
song.
familiar.
I know that. I know the
Everybody
title.
I know it,
got to
there's a-
learn sometimes.
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum.
And who does that? What's the
The Corgis. It's a dog who composed it. The Corgis.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I think someone's trying.
It's the name of the band, but it's true. It's
Is it really the
partially
name of
a
the
joke.
band? Is the core? I had no
yeah,
idea.
yeah. It's really the name of the band. Yeah.
I do love that song.
No, it doesn't go, everybody's gotta love sometime.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
it's from a movie. It's from a movie.
okay.
Oh, you know, no,
Change your heart, stone.
Beck.
It will astound you.
Beck must have did
Yeah.
a cover of that because that is I think that's a track that they put in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Beck must have did a cover. Everyone's sometimes.
Yeah, there is probably a Dutch happy hardcore version of it. Like pitch that. Everybody can do that sometimes.
Scooter version.
Scooter version.
The scooter version. The scooter remix.
I love it.
Scooter acid
Dream
trance remix.
That's
of the Corgis.
fantastic.
But by the way, quick shout out to Night Razor who joined us
Hey.
in the IR3.
Very good. All right, so
Another fine producer.
so we have 2 more tracks, and this is, man, where does the time go? I don't know. We're gonna skip events, but just so you guys know, you guys can go to nightride.fm. What's the address? Just Google synthwave
you know what?
events.
If you want to see what synthwave events are going on in your town, just Google synthwave events, and the Night Ride synthwave events calendar is the first thing that pops up.
Yeah, it's right there.
So right
in your
now,
face.
Dance of the Dead is on tour. French producer Sierra is on tour in North America, and then she'll be hitting Europe again later this year, and a bunch of others.
Ollie Ride, Parallels, Cassette, Flash Cassette, and Nat Gray, and sets from Synthwave 83. So check that out. All over the world, we are doing tours. Lifelike and YOTA, are you planning on doing any type of performances, shows anywhere around in around the Louvre or anywhere cool and some
around the Louvre.
balcony or something like that?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to like do
Interesting.
parties and stuff in the Louvre, or they frown on that?
Yeah, I got a request for it, but it was just too short. It was just before the release of Room for 1-2, so I didn't have the time. But it was here in Paris. But I hope that they will, contact us again. And James, my manager, is working on setting up some dates. I think first in the States, though. It's gonna be yeah.
Oh, what? In the States?
What?
Yay! Yeah.
I will
First in the
fly.
States.
I will fly to anywhere
Oh.
in the United
To the
States.
moon.
Oh, that would be lovely. That's
That'd
very
be
Laurent,
sweet. Yes.
what about you?
Yeah.
Me, I will probably perform a coughing show, like a 2 hours coughing show where everybody
Yeah,
is welcome to come for free. Of course, I'm not going to ask you to pay for that.
just make sure it's beat
Yeah.
synced.
Right, it's got to
Yes,
be on the
exactly.
beat.
No, I'm working actually on other projects, so I'm not touring. No, I haven't been touring for a while. um, some secret project of mine
Ooh.
from behind the secret doors.
That Howard Jones email finally came through, didn't it?
Yeah, there you
During
go.
the show. They're like, yo, let's do this.
Okay, you know what?
A doll secret project,
Yeah, something inflatable.
or
Very much so, darling.
deflatable maybe.
All right, you know what? Let's play another track, Dennis. We've got
Yes.
another Lifelike track lined up.
Yes. Oh, this one's
This-
a classic.
Which one?
So I think this one, anybody who started building a synthwave playlist on Spotify probably got suggested this track from Spotify. This is Lifelike and Chris Menace, and your 2005 single Discopolis, the original.
Yay. Ooh.
Ooh, chooch.
Is this a 9-minute
yeah.
long song? Oh my goodness.
9 minutes?
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's
everyone
9
take
minutes, yeah.
take a pee break,
Work-
go pet
work-
your dog.
Work your DJ magic, Dennis. You know what? Laurent can have a coughing fit while we play this.
Yeah.
Everyone get your coughing out right now. Ladies and gentlemen,
Take a doll break.
Discopolis.
Oh, hey.
Right.
All right, here it is from the 2005 single released on Vulture Music. This is Lifelike and Chris Menace with Discopolis right here on My Right FM.
And that was Discopolis with Chris Menace and Lifelike. And you know what we did? We asked a question offline, and it was one of the producers in the house, Vasto. But I feel like the answer that you gave was a really, really good answer. Vasta wanted to know where you get your drum samples from. So maybe you could just give us a quick recap of what you told us off air, which is pretty amazing if you ask me.
All my drum samples are coming from the original drum machines, and mostly I'm using the same one since 25 years. It's the drum machine that were made by Roger Lynn, and it's called Lynn Drum, because Roger Lynn, he was a drummer in the 70s, and he was like always frustrated to not be able to get a straight drum pattern, you know, because for a drummer in the disco era, you had to type on your drums straight. So he created this the first sample drum machine, and those samples you find in the 80s in a record from the 80s, but now all these synthwave artists are using them. But I had the luck to get my hands on the original one, so I sampled them, actually, all of them.
So you sampled the
So it's my personal collection.
The personal Lindrum samples. I think that's amazing. Yes. And that's what it gives it that flavor, man. That's what I really dig about it.
I think so. I think it gives a special sound to the drums,
Yeah. Have you ever been tempted to upload those samples to those like sample sites for, you know, a little bit of extra cash?
You would make a mint.
Oh yeah, I got contacted by sample companies. It was like already 10 years ago. Some companies before it changed to Splice. They had another name. I don't remember what was the name of this. It's a big sample company, and they asked me to do a sound collection, but actually. So I had this idea to do a sound collection, so I proposed them to do this kind of 80s stuff, and I would write some tracks and people could sample them and blah, 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 and use them in their own production. But actually the way I had to work on this project was so fucking annoying. Like every day he explained me, a guy would have to verify in a folder what samples I had done, blah, 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 and I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm too old for that.
Right. Yeah, that's way too much work.
But it's good. I've seen it's good money. I've seen some other artists doing it. It's like Romeo has done it, and I've seen they make good money with that. But there's not enough freedom in the way you have to put out a sample collection. So I was like, this bores me to death.
Yeah.
Every day I have to have someone who comes and checks my samples. Like, fuck you.
Right. That's not a good sample.
Sorry to say
it's just a sample, man. It's just a sample.
It's like every day someone's gonna check if I've been working. I'm like, sorry, guys, I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find a producer who's gonna like to work like that.
And that way you keep the secret sauce, you know? And people come to hear you.
I'm not against sharing it, because you know you can give these sounds to someone. It doesn't mean he's going to do a good track out of it.
It's true. It's all about putting things together with the right tools.
You can sample Daft Punk's exact drum sound, and I tried to do that as well. Like 25 years ago, when I was like totally obsessed by Daft Punk sound, everybody was sampling Daft Punk sound, trying to get the same sound, but in the end. He wasn't sounding like that, so I learned that actually you can't just pick up someone's sound and sound like him. So
no,
that's what you learn.
Well, so you know what, Dennis, wasn't it Tim from the Midnight who said, like, you know how a lot of synthwave artists they love the sound of the 80s or that nostalgia or early 90s, and Tim from the Midnight said, don't try and emulate modern artists who are making these retro sounds. Find out what their inspiration was, what they sampled, and go back to the source.
Right.
Always
got to go back.
Don't sample the new guys. Find where the samples came from. Learn a little.
Yeah, a little bit of history. Speaking of history, I know we're just like, oh man, I wish we could talk for like another 3 hours, but I know it's getting late over there. But as far as history is concerned, how did you guys get hooked up, like together, making music and building this YOTA project? Like, where did this all stem from? All this magic that we have here tonight.
Yeah.
Should you speak about, or should I speak about?
Well, I should maybe start because that's how it started. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. So I remember I had a 9-to-5 job, and I quit my job, and I had a publisher, and it's still the same publisher that I have, and he helped me to set up a studio, and that was isolated for the vocals and everything. And thanks to him, I got in contact with a lot of producers in Sweden. I worked with and also worked with Universal in Stockholm in Sweden, and things started to go quite well. And then I was like, wait, I'm just working with but I was working mostly with Swedish producers. And then I was like, I want to connect with, producers abroad. And then I went to Beatport, and I actually noted down all the tracks that I loved in the section. What was it? Was it New Disco? I don't remember what the dance section, whatever it was. And I noted down maybe 30 names. And number one on the, I don't remember the genre. Do you remember the genre, Laurent?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Progressive house or something.
Let me guess. You heard
progressive house or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like number one out of hundreds was Discopolis. And I was like, wow, I really love this track. Who made this?
Oh my God. So Discopolis was the one?
Yes.
I love it.
And I was like, I love it. It's like, who made this? And then I see Lifelike and Chris Menace. So I wrote a message to both of them. And during that time, I also wrote to Chris Lake, that I was also in contact with, and some other people like that were I found on this on Beatport. And then I started talking with Laurent, and he's like, and that was like the MySpace, period. Yeah. And then
MySpace,
and I added him there, and he accepted, and he said welcome, and then did a blinky, and then and then we started talking about working together, and he was a bit pretentious. He was like, well, can you sing like the girl in Bel Canto? Like Bel Canto is like this Norwegian band. And I was like, well, I guess so. And then we started talking, and that's how it started. And then we started, getting to know each other. And that's how it started. And this was back in very long time ago. This was back in 2006, 2007.
Oh, wow.
The 60s, maybe.
60s.
So he's been with you for the entire YOTA journey,
yes.
I guess.
Yes, very much so. And my first album, Knight in Shining Armor, is released on Laurent's label. That was before the new retro wave. Yeah, so my first album is thanks to Laurent. I released it on his label. And then how was it, Laurent, then? There was a Hazy Paradise. Strangers on Film. Strangers on Film that was released on New Retro Wave.
The first album didn't have a good. It wasn't successful. Didn't have a good feedback, because on my record label I usually release new disco club tracks, and so the audience wasn't there really for an album. I already released another album that YOTA had produced with a friend of mine called Frankfurt Express, which was like some kind of very dark, how would you call this style? YOTA?
New wave.
New wave electro-pop stuff. And that I co-produced the album because I love the music. But I quickly understood that I couldn't make a success out of whatever I wanted on the record label, simply because I didn't have the audience for that. So we were looking for another record label for YOTA, because I pushed YOTA for many years. I told her, you have to release your own project, and she was like, no, I don't want to do that.
I was just doing featurings. Yeah.
And I said, don't do featurings. You're gonna be like all these dance singers. They don't manage to get a
vocalist for hire.
Right.
Yeah. Because in the dance, in the dance field, the singer is just an add-on on the track. They put a dance singer because the track has to go on the radio. That's
Right. You get a featuring.
Days,
Featuring.
Yeah, you do your instrumental, or the DJ plays it, then the record company is interested, then you need your featuring because otherwise you don't go on the radio. That was like 15 years ago. Yeah. And so I always told YOTA she has to have her own project. So finally she decides she will do it. Yeah. And
here we are.
Then we released our first album.
I've got one more question. Question. So you got Laurent helping with the production of your art.
Yeah.
YOTA, do you contribute anything to his work?
As far as in production, or in general,
maybe sneak in some vocals, maybe some
a little chopped up sampled humming or something.
Yeah, he rarely listens to me, which I think he should. It's like I can tell him like, hey, here you should, because I can hear some things that he's working on. I'm like, wow, this what you need here is this and that, but he never listens to me. No, you don't. No, you don't.
No way.
No, you don't. Hey, you can't say you do, because.
And on that note, we're gonna end the show and let these two go to sleep.
They're gonna fight it out. Yes.
You guys should have heard us when we were mixing the Hunger. Oh God, the Hunger when we were mixing. Oh God, it was so funny. It was like very much heated discussion. Yeah.
Well, it turned out to be an amazing track. So
and an amazing album. I think you guys really just hit it home.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
And I'm just
thank you for inviting us.
Of course.
No, thank you. It's late over there. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up. We have one more track off the album, and before we go, I know you guys were saying that. Well, I know YOTA, you're a little bit more in the social realm. Do you want to drop some socials, some links for people to check out more from? Like they need to know where to find your music, but just for funsies, at least like the socials. That way, if somebody wants to get connected with some of the wonderful videos that you put. I know Instagram is kind of like your thing, and is there any other social that people can get all up social like that with YOTA?
So I think it's mostly like Instagram's a YOTA official artist, or otherwise Facebook. Just type YOTA. I think it's YOTA. I don't know. Just type YOTA. You'll find me. Yeah. And then of course on YouTube, on the new Retro Wave channel, they have me there. Yeah, that's mostly that. Twitter, I'm not using Twitter, unfortunately. But otherwise than that, just listen to me on YouTube or Spotify, or or buy the records.
Just buy the records.
Exactly.
That's it.
And I know Laurent, Lifelike, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook.
I'm on Instagram. Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok because maybe I should, but right now I'm not. But you will find, I think you will find all the information. You just type in Google Lifelike, and I think you find everything there.
Both your music is on all the streaming sites. Also, I know.
It's everywhere.
Your Lifelike, you're not likely on Bandcamp, but you're on Beatport. We know that.
No, I'm not on Bandcamp because I always had either my own structure to release a record, and I have a distribution company, so I never found interesting to release on Bandcamp right now. But a friend of us told us maybe I should do it on Bandcamp. But I'm always afraid with Bandcamp. It's a very different audience, so maybe it could be another channel to release something. Yeah. Why not? But it wouldn't be enough, I think, to reach sufficient audience and to make enough plays on the music.
But I
think it would. I
think the people that are playing Lifelike too, I think, is a lot of DJs, and absolutely Beatport is where to go. That's where the DJs know to get.
Bandcamp as well.
Beatport.
Bandcamp, you got a small group of people who want to throw as much money as they can to an artist, right?
Yeah.
And at least Bandcamp, they've got a good financial model. especially the Bandcamp Fridays, where 100% goes to the artist. So,
All right.
but it's
We're
you're
gonna
right,
work
though.
out that
it's a
deal.
small little pond.
Jules just wants everyone on Bandcamp so he can spend all his money.
Exactly. But hey, sometimes I find myself on Beatport because I have no choice. So I've got my Beatport account already.
Beatport is it is so slow. Beatport, it's
the navigation and everything. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a very old system.
Yeah, they must be running on an IBM XT or something, like a Commodore 64.
I love it.
I just want to do 2 quick shout-outs. Last minute folks who joined our chats, Dark Ludus over in YouTube and Tori Kabuto over in the IRC. Yeah, so
very nice.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and hearing us live. And, of course, super duper thanks goes out to Lifelike and YOTA for coming on the show. This is amazing to have both of you guys on talking about your music individually and together. I think it was a really special thing. I think it was really cool.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, we know it's 2 a.m. over there, so once again, we are so thankful that you were on live.
But you guys are going to get some sushi, so...
Thank you so much. It's really nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
And we're going to wrap it up. We got one more track here we're going to play.
Yes, we're going to wrap everyone up. By the way, folks, if you like our station, head over to patreon.com/NightRideFM. And you can also go to thestateofsynth.com if you want show notes, you want to hear our episodes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We got a charity album, too. Go buy that.
That's right.
Multiple copies.
Charity album.
Buy one for a friend. Live at Mr. Fusion's. Buy one for a friend. Thank you.
Thestateofsynth.bandcamp.com. So we're going to play you out with another track from the album Room 412 by YOTA. Available on New Retro Wave. You can go to their Bandcamp page and buy up the vinyls.
Buy it up.
So from all of us here at Night Ride FM, have a good night. This is YOTA with Give Me a Chance right here on Night Ride FM. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.